Greetings, everyone. I'm excited to welcome Paul Prendergast, CEO and co-founder at Kayna. Paul, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ben. Thrilled to be here.
Yeah, great to have you here. Let's dive right in. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. Yeah, I've been doing tech startups for, God, over 20 years now at this point. So a long, long time. And a lot of it's been in the insurance technology space over the last 17, 18 years. And it's been fantastic. Kayna is my third software startup. I did a couple of non-software startups before this. So lots of gray hair, as you can see, and plenty of scar tissue and lots of stories. But it's been a great journey. Yeah.
And it looks like I was looking at your LinkedIn profile. I mean, would you classify yourself as a serial entrepreneur then?
God, I wouldn't really, but people have said that. So
Yeah.
as I say, I'm unemployable at this point in time. So I really enjoy the startup process, creating something out of nothing. It's a very creative endeavor, and it's high highs and low lows. So yeah, I suppose I'd be in that category, to be fair.
And is this, it's interesting because, the serial entrepreneurs, it seems like sometimes they have multiple companies going. Is this your sole focus right now, or do you have other endeavors right now?
No, I'm all in on Kena, and I think it's typically entrepreneurs tend to be creative, and there's never, the good entrepreneurs, there's never a lack of ideas, I think, but it's really important to then stop with the new ideas and go into execution mode. And that's my whole opinion is that you've got to go all in to make a success of a startup.
Yeah, I know it's hard. I know I suffer sometimes from shiny object syndrome. It's easy to start, kind of go off in different directions.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Kina. What products and services does Kina offer?
Sure. Yeah. So we're super early stage. We're going about 18 months, and we're very focused on the vertical in the SaaS space, which your drivers are mainly based. It's the vertical SaaS platforms. So yeah, I think it's a really interesting space. So we're building an Insurtech plugin for vertical SaaS operators who want to embed insurance. So vertical SaaS and SaaS folks are doing really well in embedded finance and fintech, payments and capital lending. The enabling companies are only emerging, Kayna being one of them, to allow them to embed insurance, to offer it to their customer base. So some of the vertical SaaS that we're going live there, first to launch partners in the next couple of months, in the field services space, in the legal space, in a bunch of different sectors for small businesses. All these vertical SaaS with my insurance hat on really gives us a clear picture of these companies, because most small business insurance is very much a one size fits all. And the brokers, and we know tons of them, they don't really know who they're insuring because they can't spend 2 weeks with every small business to make $300 commission, right? So whereas the vertical SaaS platform, they have amazing data and amazing community. So, we're dealing with them, and we're leveraging the data on the platform to offer a much, much better insurance experience to their customers. So great going today, Scale.
Yeah, and just to make sure I understand, so if we talk vertical SaaS, and let's just focus on the legal space. So say I have a SaaS product
Sure.
for attorneys or a legal
Yeah.
practice, and when we talk vertical SaaS, I could be offering invoicing and business operations and scheduling and appointment.
Yeah.
So that vertical SaaS and really focused in on just
Super
that legal
focused.
space. And so as I'm the founder of that SaaS application, then I can come to you and say, maybe I could, yeah, offer insurance through my platform as well as an additional offering to my legal customers.
Yes, exactly. So I think, the vertical SaaS community is very interesting. And the people that we talk to, the first thing that they want to do is to solve problems for their customer base. They have the exact opposite to a transactional relationship. They want to have a 10-year plus relationship with their customers. So their view is, if I can take more pain, and look, insurance is not the most important problem in a small business person's life, but it certainly can be a problem if you don't have the right insurance. It can take a long time, making claims, all that stuff. So we reckon we can take a lot of that pain away. So if we can keep using the data on the platform, obviously there's substantial revenue. The interesting thing is you're not asking people to buy something new. You're asking them, do you want to buy something you already buy? Less of a headache, more personalized, and yeah. So what's not to like? So it's getting great feedback from the vertical SaaS community, which is great. So yeah, it's offering something We always look at that magic 10x. Can we offer 10 times better, a more personalized product, a better claims experience? And how we structure, we're not an insurance company. We're that enabling layer, if you like. We work with a whole ton of really good insurers, and insurers would admit themselves that they're really good at risk management. The tech piece is something that, it's very, very hard for them to be a nimble tech company. So we offer that capability to them. So, we've been doing Insurtech startups for 17, 18 years. So we know a lot of insurers who want to do this, but they simply don't have the technical capability. So we allow them bring their products to market. So yeah, so it's kind of a, hundreds-year-old insurance company plus a really fast startup together offers a great solution to the vertical SaaS community.
I like it. And when we talk insurance, that can mean a lot of different things, but I'm
Yep.
guessing we're talking commercial insurance here, like employment practices, errors and emissions, directors and officers, stuff that I see in the US here,
Yeah.
commercial insurance. And then where, or do you have a geographic focus right now?
We do. We have two markets we're focused on, the UK and the USA. As I said, this is my third InsurTech, and North America has been, I'd say, 80% of our revenue over that period of time. So, just back from Wisconsin and Vegas 2 days ago. So I spent a lot of time in the States. I think it's a really interesting market. We find that people want to do business over there, and they're gung ho. They're very excited about the tech. So yeah, there are two markets. I live in Ireland. We build our teams here. But I'd say over 20 years, I'd say I've sold less than $100. It's just too small as a market. So UK and USA are our focus.
Makes a lot of sense. And it's funny, I'm just coming up on my commercial insurance renewal, and my agent was reaching out asking for additional information to renew for next year. So
Yeah,
very
it's very tough to the brokers. I mean, the brokers typically, when they will start with, "Hey, how's your last year been?" And
mhm.
that's the tough place when you don't really know how your customer has done over the past 12 months. Whereas this vertical SaaS platform folks, they know exactly what's happened with their customer base because they're their operating system. And they've hired more staff, there's more inventory or revenue has changed, and you're able to, be proactively provide a better insurance experience.
It makes a lot of sense. And so what year did you found Kayna? Oh,
So
you said
really,
18 months ago. So yeah.
yeah, about 18 months ago, about 18 months. Yeah. So we started and we said, look, will we become a regulated entity for the first 9, 10 months? And then we decided not to do that. And once we decided to become that technology and data orchestration layer, if you like, things just kicked off. Within 8 weeks, we had a term sheet. We just announced our pre-seed funding. I think it was in September. So we've raised about €1 million, just over $1 million. So yeah, that's our pre-seed money. So I head down for the next period of time to prove out this business.
That's great. And you mentioned, so you have an HQ then in Ireland.
Yes.
Okay. So located in Ireland. And what's your current team size?
So team size is Peter Birmingham, who's my good friend and CTO and co-founder. We've worked together for, God bless him, 19 years. He's a very patient man, and about 19 years together. And this is our third business together. So two, and then we have about 4 contractors. So we've outsourced our software development. We work with a great marketing team. We've got a great finance. So, it's all about keeping yourself super lean in the current fundraising environment. I suppose we've been around the block. We kind of have a certain playbook and working with people we've worked with before. So we're fortunate in that case. But yeah, super small team. But look, as we start onboarding customers, that'll grow over the next 12 months.
And so you mentioned, so 18 months in, early stage, are you pre-revenue or are you generating any revenue right now?
Pre-revenue, I think first, like we're in the process of onboarding a bunch of customers. I think Q1 of next year, we'll have a bunch of customers onboarding. We'll be revenue generating then. Insurance is, there is a reason why it's one of the last few big industries to innovate, in that it's a relatively slow moving industry. The one thing, you've got to be patient when it comes to insurance. By their very nature, insurance folks are risk averse. It's just the nature of the beast. So you've got to be patient. The way we look at it is, we're putting in the hard yards now. Somebody who can decide to compete with us in 3 or 4 years' time, they'll have 3 or 4 tough years ahead of them. So that's the nature of the beast,
And tell us about your pricing model, because you're enabling, facilitating insurance. Yeah. So tell us how your pricing works.
Yeah. So it really depends on the line of business. So it's all about, you know, we don't like to be a cost. We like to be part of a cost model, if you like. Hey, if we're going to make $100,000, we're happy to pay out X, as opposed to, well, we have to commit to these guys for 2 years, and it's going to be a fixed cost of $250,000, or whatever that may be. So we're very much based on success, and that's the model. So when we go to our insurance partners or our vertical SaaS partners, there's no fixed costs. Super simple to integrate. There's very little downside for anybody involved. We do all the heavy lifting in between. So if we generate revenue, we all get paid and we're all happy.
Yes. And then tell us a little bit about how you're finding your prospects and customers right now. Tell us a little bit about your go-to-market motion.
Sure. So in the vertical SaaS space, where we go after vertical by vertical, whether it's field, like for example, field services in the USA is a really interesting space. There's lots of really interesting platforms with tradespeople on them, and it can be a laborious process for them getting insurance, et cetera, et cetera. So we build content that they find useful. I think that's the most important thing. The days of just bombarding them with phone calls, I think enterprise sales is a long sales cycle, and you've got to build credibility. And you do that by actually providing real value. If somebody wants to, okay, instead of saying, hey, Kayna is the best thing in the world, we say, okay, you've got 3 or 4 different options if you want to do embedded insurance. Kayna is one of them if you want to go down that, but you could do a different thing, or you could do that, depending on your appetite for investment or your appetite for X, Y, Z. So I think that's what we find very useful. They might say, thanks so much. You're not our partner, but we're going to do something over here. Great. It's all about, adding value to the ecosystem, and what goes around comes around. The days of just banging on doors saying we're the best thing since sliced bread and everybody else is rubbish, I think that's not the way to do it. So by vertical, we provide decent content, and that's working. We're getting solid inbound from different vertical SaaS execs and starting real conversations,
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I love the content play. And then on the capital front, you had mentioned earlier raise. So total raise to date right now, you had a pre-seed of 1 million euros.
Yep.
And then tell us about that. How are you deploying that capital right now?
Yeah, so we're big fans of keeping things super lean. So we've got our outsourced software development team. We're spending money on, obviously, myself and Peter, and then a marketing team. Just back from the States, going to a lot of conferences, spending a bit of time on the road. A bit of a road warrior at the moment. Off to London next week to another insurance conference. So we're doing 2 things. One, we're focused on the vertical SaaS community, but then we're making sure that we've got really strong insurers at the back end, providing the right kind of product. So we're in the middle of pulling all of that together. So so we're really focused on, when we're spending money, that it's either bringing an insurance partner on board, that we have a whole bunch of them, or reaching out and adding value to the vertical SaaS community. And so we're working to date, early days, but we're working to date. And we're not believers, and I suppose we've been around a long time. You don't have to work 80 hours a week. You just have to reduce the BS in your organization, and take all the drama out, and you can be incredibly effective if you focus on that, as opposed to having meetings for meetings' sake, and having a team that you trust. It's amazing what you can get done. And I suppose that's why there's opportunities for small startups to innovate and do things differently that larger organizations can't.
Yeah, we know we're all in too many meetings. And with that pre-seed round under the belt, any lessons learned that you'd like to share with the founder community, where they're looking at, maybe they're just started a product, we're bootstrapped, thinking about that pre-seed round? Any lessons learned that you'd like to share there?
I think from know a lot of BCs, and they have a really tough job kind of deciding who's good and who's not. I think particularly when you've got investors who are new to certain segments, trying to understand it, you believe in your business, but if you can have third-party validation, like we were invited into Lloyd's of London. They do an innovation scheme. Kayna was invited into that. That gave us a kind of some element of credibility. Obviously, we're exited founders, so that helped. But if it was my first time around on the rodeo, I would try to get validation from industry organizations in some fashion, whether it's involved in innovation or getting involved in association, getting on a board. I think that's really important, particularly when you're an early stage founder. Your credibility in the industry, getting at speaking events, winning awards, they all really matter to investors. Would be the first thing. The second thing is, and I've made this mistake many, many times, is don't try to do too much. Try to pick something. It might seem small, but something that you can own and you can be pretty much number one and number two in. Once you get your foot in the door and you build relationships, you can start offering other services. But often you see people going, I'm going to tell you about my business week. And effectively they're talking about 10 different companies in the one company because they're trying to, they're trying to make sure that somebody likes them. Mm-hmm. It's most important because you're a small business that you really focus on how you guys are different. Because if you do 10 things and then trying to scale those 10 things, it's going to be impossible unless even if you raise a load of money, it's going to be impossible.
Yeah, no, that's great. Great advice. Yeah, it's easy to get distracted, and you've got to nail that niche first, and then maybe, all right, let's expand
Then
with
maybe
that features and
yeah,
different
high
things.
class
And
problem then. Yeah.
ancillary markets. So love that. So Paul, at this stage of your business, do you have a favorite number or metric that you're focused on to guide and manage the business?
So it's really interesting. I think we're very much in the business development stage. So from a marketing point of view, it's a very small number play for us. We want to work with a small number of vertical SaaS platforms. So for us, getting 4 or 5 qualified enterprise vertical SaaS leads in every month, that's it. That's all we want. Because for us to be a success long term, getting 20 or 30 partners over the next 2-3 years, and we've got a very large business. That's our objective. So it's not about going after thousands and thousands. That's not the type of business. So that's why it's all about getting the right verticals, providing real value to those people. And they're going, okay, I'm going to learn. If I could do a call with this guy, I'm going to learn something. I mightn't do business with him, but people are coming to us and saying, yeah, tell me about this. And well, what if I wanted to do this? It wouldn't be with you guys. We'll be very open. We'll say, you can do this, and we'll make contacts, and we'll give them enough information because they may come around, or their buddy might have another vertical SaaS and they may come and talk to us. So it's about 5 inbound leads, and that's working so far. And, the value of each opportunity for us is very, very large from a dollar point of view. So.
Yep, love that. Get those quality leads over the quantity right now.
Yes, big
So,
time. Mm.
Paul, appreciate your time today. As we wrap up, tell us what's coming up next for Kayna.
So look, we can't wait to get our first. We've got some really, really phenomenal launches coming up in Q1. So we can't wait until we can talk about that. We've got some really great insurance partners that are very excited about this space and working with a company like us. But the vertical SaaS folks, a lot insurance can be a little bit scary because it's regulated and it's, it's just, I wonder, should we? But I think if you do it right, you can solve a real problem for your customer base. So look, it's easy for me as the CEO of the company to be excited about it, but we can't wait to have real case studies next year, and Q1, Q2, we'll be able to talk about those. So that's what we're 100% focused on.
That's great. Love it. And Paul, appreciate your time and sharing your experiences today. If listeners would like to learn more about Kayna, where should we send them online?
I live on LinkedIn. That is my home from home. And so, yeah, I connect with anybody. I'm pretty open, happy to have any conversation. So, reach out on LinkedIn and we can chat from there.
All right. Well, sounds good, Paul. Appreciate your time, sharing your experiences. Yeah. Love the what you're going after, and good luck.
Great chat, Ben. Thanks so much.